That's okay. That might be the first sound of the day on the video. It would be awesome. Wake everybody up with that sound. So, today is Thursday. It is Thursday the 14th of September. That means tomorrow is Friday the 15th, which means that according to the sideboard here, that you've got 2 homeworks due tomorrow, weeks 2 and 3. Salmon and purple. Salmon and purple due tomorrow. Some of you have already turned in those, that's fine too. That also means that you have a summative tomorrow, a test on Unit 1 tomorrow in class. Okay? All right? Any questions on that? Unlike your previous math classes, okay? Unlike your previous math classes, the review that you have, the purple worksheet, that's the review worksheet, looks nothing like your test. Okay? Up to this point, most of your review assignments have been the 4th version of the test. That stops in this class. Okay? Right? Just so you know. So don't come into tomorrow expecting the test to look exactly like the purple worksheet. Okay? And that will be true for the entire year of this class. Okay? The review doesn't look anything like the test. Okay? So just so you know, I want to get that out there because a lot of people are freaked out the first time. They're like, this looks nothing like, you didn't prep us. Yeah, I actually did prep you. I just prepped you in a different way. I didn't have you memorize what the test is going to look like so that you can prepare for that. But you know all of the concepts behind it. Okay? So before you take the tests tomorrow, you should go back and check to see that all your homework assignments are completed. Well, see, like in years past, this was like week 3 of the semester, and this is like week 3, but because of the way we have 2 homeworks due tomorrow, the way things work out. So make sure, 1, that your week 1, you have week 1 is at 100%. Make sure that week 2 and week 3 are done, and it's going to be turned in tomorrow. Okay? Go back and fix week 1 if it wasn't 100%. Study the material. Go over that quiz. Some of you did not do very well on the quiz. Okay? To be flat out honest with you. There were a lot of below 50% on the quiz. Okay? So make sure that you understand what mistakes you made on that quiz before you take it. How can you figure out, we'll go 4. Give me 4 ways that you can figure out what you did wrong on that quiz or on your homework. 4 ways. Or 4 things that you can do. We can go to the MRC. That's one thing. So sometime today or before class tomorrow, we can go to the MRC and get our questions answered by a math teacher in there. Right. During work time today, you can ask me questions. Yep. Anything else? Say hello. You can ask your friend. There's lots of people in this class. There's lots of people that have, are good in math. Ask them. Ask your peers. Your peers is a great resource. Don't ever let anybody say that you can't ask a friend a question. Okay? Always ask your friends questions. Okay? What else? Go back through the stuff. Check out the Canvas page. Check out the videos, the notes, all that fun stuff. Yep. Okay. I'll even throw in a 5th one. If you're an early riser and and are here tomorrow after 7:15, or if you're here like at 7:15, I'll be in office 2:08. Okay. Today after school, I won't be here. I've got a meeting tonight, and so I have to leave right away after school. So I won't be able to stay after school. But you can show up tomorrow morning early. Okay. So one of the one of the life skills. Yeah, I'm not all about 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay? I'm all about making you guys better people. Okay? Better people. One of the life skills that I'm going to teach you, you got to be a self-advocate. Okay? If you have a question, you've got to ask it, because I don't know that you have a question. Sometimes I do, because you'll give me that physical look in your face. And I'll say, you don't understand what I just did. Okay? But a lot of times I don't. So if you don't understand something, you gotta ask the question. Okay? Ask questions, get everything cleared up. Yeah, all good study strategies going into it. Okay? So things that you need to know for the test tomorrow. Here are the 6 concepts that we did, because we had 6 sections to unit number 1. Okay? So we have simplifying expressions, we have word problems, solving inequalities, solving formulas, solving equations, and absolute values. Okay? And then with absolute values also comes absolute value equalities and absolute value inequalities. Okay? So those 6 concepts are what are going to be on tomorrow's test. Okay? Okay? So, here's 2 of them. One thing that you are going to have to do tomorrow, because sometimes we say simplify, sometimes we say solve, sometimes we say solve for a specific variable, sometimes we say graph, sometimes we say give it an interval location, sometimes we say give the inequality. So in order to get around all of that, to know how we want the answer, read. You're going to have to take a half a heartbeat and read. Tell your brain, gotta read the instructions for each problem. Okay? Read the instructions for each problem. Okay. Okay. So first one over here, when we're simplifying, we got to distribute into 2. That's going to give me 6 plus 4x, right? Okay. Then I got to distribute in the negative 4 here. And that's going to give me plus 12x plus 84. Combine those out, and I get 16x plus 90. Now, some of you wrote 90 plus 16x. That's fine. I got no problem with that. But typically, we write our variable part first, and then our number part last. Good thing that wasn't the one I think you saw. Okay. Talked with a few of you as we were going through, and we said we decided that in an equation we don't like fractions. Even though I love fractions, I also don't like working with them at the start. I like them at the end. Okay? All right? So I'm going to get rid of my fractions here to make this be a little bit nicer. And I'm going to multiply this by 35. I'm going to multiply this by 35, and I'm going to multiply here by 35. Now, why did I choose 35? Because it gets rid of the 7 and the 5 all at the same time in my denominator. Okay? I could have done that in 2 steps. Multiplied first through by 7, then multiplied by 5 all the way through. Okay? That's fine. 2 steps there is fine. 35 divided by 7 is 5, times 5 is 25. 35 divided by 5 is 7, times 3x is 21x. That is still being subtracted. 35 times 8 is 280. See what you did wrong? What did you do wrong? You forgot the golden rule of math. Okay, whatever we do on one side, we got to do on the other. So if we multiply on the left side by 35, we've got to multiply on the right side by 35. On top of that, you also didn't reduce your fraction. Okay. Next, then, I am going to subtract 25 from both sides. That then gives me negative 21x equals 255, I believe. Then $45, no, that doesn't go in nice and even, does it? Right? No, okay, so I'm going to divide by negative 21 here then. Okay. Doesn't go in nice and even, so rather than give me a decimal there, here's where we like fractions. Okay. So this is going to be x equals. It is going to be negative because we've got a positive divided by a negative. Okay. Now, my question is that a reducible fraction? Yes, because 255 can be divided by 3. The y'all, and I use the word y'all, meaning you guys, did y'all know if a number, the trick to see if a number is divisible by 3? You add all the digits. So you add 5 plus 5 plus 2. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. If that number is divisible by 3, then your big number is divisible by 3. Okay? So that is divisible by 3. So 3 would go into 25 8 times, leaving me with a remainder of 1. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 3 goes into 21 7. So we like negative 85 sevenths. Okay. Much better, much cleaner than any decimal that you would have, and it takes the question away, what do we want it rounded to? I want it rounded to a fraction. Okay. Questions on that? 2 absolute value problems for you. Please try them. Absolute value equation. So first thing we got to do is we got to set one of them equal to, or write it just as is. X minus 3 equals 21. And then I write a second one as x minus 3, but I make it equal to negative of that side. Okay. Then we go through and we solve. Plus 3 x equals 24. Quick check, 24 minus 3 is 21. The absolute value of 21 is 21. 21 is equal to 21. Checks out. Okay. Then plus 3 x equals negative 18. Quick check. Negative 18 minus 3 is negative 21. The absolute value of negative 21 is positive 21. And 21 is equal to 21. So that are our two answers. Okay. Absolute value, write it as is. Absolute value, write it equal to negative of the whole side. We have to negate that whole side on that side. Solve I'm going to subtract 3x and subtract 1 all at the same time. This goes away, leaves me with -6. This goes away, leaves me with 1x. Quick check. 3 times -6 is -18. -18 minus 5 is -23. Absolute value of -23 is +23. 4 times -6 is -24. -24 plus 1 is -23. Does that check out? No, it does not, because a positive is not equal to a negative. That is not one of our solutions. Next one. First, I have to distribute that negative sign. So I got 3x minus 5 equals -4x minus 1. Let's add 4x. At the same time, let's add 5. That gives me 7x equals 4. Let's divide then by 7. And that gives me x equals 4/7. Do I still have to check it? Yeah, even though it's a fraction. Yes, I still do. Okay? 4 times 3/7 is 12/7. Oh, excuse me. 3 times 4/7. I think I said 4 times 3/7. Minus 5. Do I want to write this as -5? 12/7 minus 5, or do I want to write it a different way? Even better way. Could I write it as 12/7 minus 35/7? Why would I do it that way?
So you have a
common denominator already. It's still equal to 5, right? Okay? Alright? And that's still an absolute value. So then that's going to be -23/7, which is going to then be +23/7 after we take the absolute value of it. Okay, like that. Okay? 4 times 4/7 is 16/7. But instead of writing +1 here, what am I going to write instead? 7/7. 16/7 plus 7/7 is 23/7. Is that equal to 23/7? Yes, it is. So this is our answer. Okay. Even with fractions, still got to remember back to 4th and 5th grade when you started learning all about fractions and adding, subtracting, and multiplying, and dividing. Keep flip. Okay. Oh, how many? Before we start these ones, based off of the instructions, because remember I told you to read the instructions first. Based off of the instructions. How many answers do I want to see for each one of these? 3. I want to see it in all 3 forms. Because it says solve it, that's your inequality one. It says graph it, that's your graphing one. And it says put it in integral notation. That's your integral notation. All 3 forms. I know. The meanest of means. Oh, right. So, first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply everything by 4. And when I do that, I've got to do that in all 3 spots. Doing that gets rid of the fraction. -2 times 4 then is -8. 4 times 15 is 60. Then I'm going to divide, or not divide, excuse me, I'm going to subtract 4 from all spots. So that then is going to give me negative 12 is less than 2m is less than or equal to 56. Then I'm going to divide everything by 2. And that gives me negative 6 less than m less than or equal, oops, got to break that with that. More room. Negative 6 less than m less than or equal to 28. That would be the solved part of it. Yes? Yeah. The graph part of it is a handle. The interval part of it is that. All 3 of those are what we are looking for. Okay. Changed up number 2 again, just to make sure that you made that one. So in an absolute value inequality, so then it's going to be 4x plus 8 equals 12, and 4x plus 8 equals negative 12. Subtract 8 gives me 4x equals 4. Divide by 4. X equals 1. Subtract 8 gives me 4x equals negative 20. Divide by 4. X equals negative 5. Agree with those? What do you mean they don't work? We don't plug them in for X. No, because they're not going to work because they're not the equal part. Yep, we can't check it that way. Okay? So let's go to our graph first. Our graph would be the easiest to go to. So we've got negative 5 and we've got positive 1. Okay? Filled in dots or open dots at both of those. Open. Okay, so open dots there. We don't have we didn't go through 0, or we can test 0, right? So 0 would be right there. So if I test 0 in my original equation, 4 times 0 plus 8 is how much? 8. Absolute value of 8 is 8 less than 12. Yes, that is true, correct? Okay? So that means then that I want to be in there. So that is my graph. My inequality then would be that. My interval would then be that. Okay? Again, You have two homeworks, salmon and purple, that are due tomorrow. If you're done with them, turn them in. You have the cream colored one that if you didn't get a 3 on, you can make fixes on. And tomorrow you have